It's really helped the spin rate on my ball. It's helped the flight of my ball. I was, probably one of your first original guys coming in here trying your SST PURE'd, and where I found it to help me the most was with my driver. I was a high spin player to begin with, came in, was fit for the proper head, the proper shaft, and then you explained to me what this SST puring did to the shaft on the driver you're building for me. And my experience has been just, still workable. We would do the fairway woods, and then we did the irons, and it's helped overall my game immensely.
The first time I heard about it would have been probably at my first fitting. I've been in and around the golf industry for a while, but it wasn't something that was coming up frequently in conversation. Fitting was coming up a lot, and I wanted to find a way to kind of help my game along as quickly as possible. So like many people, I sought out a custom fitting. And when I was going through that process, the SST Pure process was something my fitter was talking to me about, and I'd never heard of it. I didn't even really understand the concept until he started talking to me about what exactly it does and how it can actually, in the same way that fitting can cut strokes off of a score, and it can add yards off the tee and things like that, the SST Pure process fits right into that and kind of helps the performance of the clubs overall. I think that a lot of the assets that are available to female golfers just aren't as widely talked about, but everybody that's going to golf, everybody that wants to cut strokes off their game, everybody that wants to feel a more natural movement when they're actually swinging their golf club, SST Pure is one step towards that. Obviously there are other things, custom fitting, lessons, things like that, but the SST Pure process is a very simple thing that you can do to your clubs that's going to help you feel better as you're swinging through, and it's going to help you essentially perform your best for every club in the bag.
If you're going to have the opportunity to play the best golf that you can from the equipment that we're going to make for you, then it needs to be pured. I would say 85% do not know anything about it. So once you get into it and we are able to tell them exactly what we're doing to the shaft and how we're finding the most stable point of the shaft, it makes a lot of sense. So at that point, they see the added benefit of having it done. I don't think there's a reason, if we're going to build a golf club, there's no reason not to have it pured. It is the best way to have it done, it's the most effective way, and it's the best for the customer to have it done. For me, it separates us apart, but it also, again, is giving us the best opportunity for the customer to play better golf. I go right back over the process again and basically retell them exactly what is being done to that shaft. And if you can't see the benefit of that, then maybe I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it. So I will take that time to go back, ask them if they have any questions on it, what is their hesitation? What doesn't make sense in what I said of why you wouldn't want that done? I do it in the sit down when we first sit down and meet with our customer. I'll do it during when we're talking about it in the bay. And again, obviously at close.
So the first time I experienced the SST process, the puring process, was somewhere around 10 years ago. It was one of my first custom set fitted golf clubs, and it was something that was explained to me. And being with my background, I understood how the flex of the shaft could make a difference, and we gave it a shot, and I noticed almost immediately that there was a consistency difference from an off-the-rack set of golf clubs versus a pured set of golf clubs. Since I pured my golf clubs, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is, again, the tightening dispersion pattern of my shots, or maybe even my missed shots aren't nearly as bad as they would have been had I not had them pured. And then even on well-struck shots, the consistency of the distance is also, it's very noticeable when you pure a shot with your pured shafts. You could really tell that they're going the same distance every time, and the dispersion pattern, again, is so much narrower. I absolutely would recommend the SST puring process to my golf friends based on the benefits that I'm seeing in my game and they've seen from my former sets of clubs to when they did begin starting to get pured. I think the results kind of speak for themselves, that anybody who's serious about their game should do it.
Have I noticed that I hit my driver straighter? I would say I am much more accurate since I've had the shafts pured. Absolutely. The first time I heard about it was probably 10 years ago. Didn't know much about it, but the older I get, the harder it is to get the distance and stuff, and the vibration in the clubs. I mean, you're really more sensitive to it today than I was back then. I would never again buy a club that had not been pured and fitted. So I think that, again, my age has a little bit to do with it, but the difference in the shaft from what I used to play to today is, it's a motor. I mean, it's the motor of the club. I've tried many different heads, but the shaft always is the thing that makes the purchase for me. I absolutely recommend that anybody that is going to spend the money on a set of clubs, whether it be, you know, something that you didn't have fitted to you or not, have the shafts pured, that it makes that much of a difference, and you will feel it. So I would recommend it highly.